Welcome back to Auto Car, where we dig deep into classic automotive icons, legends on four wheels, and the stories behind them. And today, we're looking at a beast from the past that's been gaining major attention among collectors, restorers, and off-road lovers, the 1965 Ford F-350 4X4. Yeah, you heard that right. A heavy-duty, factory-built four-wheel drive workhorse from Ford, at a time when the world was just beginning to understand what trucks could really do. Now, let's get something clear off the bat. In 1965, four-wheel drive wasn't common in the Ford heavy-duty lineup. In fact, Ford didn't officially offer a factory-built 4X4 F-350 until the mid-70s. But thanks to partnerships with companies like Marmon Harrington, there were some rare, dealer-installed or aftermarket 4X4 conversions, and these trucks were absolute monsters. So when someone says, 1965 Ford F-350 4X4, what we're really looking at is a truck that blends factory-built toughness with period-correct 4X4 capability, making it not just rare, but downright special. Let's talk power. Under the hood, most 65 F-350s came equipped with Ford's FE Series 5.8 engines. You'd find the 352 cubic inch V8 pumping out around 208 horsepower and roughly 315 pound-feet of torque. Not numbers that will wow today's truck fans, but for 1965, that was solid, dependable torque that could pull, haul, and keep going long after others gave out. And paired with the right gearing and transfer case, this thing could tackle mud, hills, snow, or whatever you threw at it. Back then, the F-350 wasn't just a pickup, it was a work tool. You didn't buy it for comfort. You bought it because you needed a truck that could tow a backhoe, haul firewood all day, or drag trailers across rough backcountry roads. The standard suspension was tough as nails, built for weight and punishment. It came with a solid front axle, leaf springs all around, and depending on the setup, a gross vehicle weight rating north of 9,000 pounds. That's more than a lot of modern half-ton trucks even today. But the real magic happens when you take this thing off-road. With a Marmon Harrington 4X4 conversion, or a well-done custom job, suddenly the F-350 becomes a whole new animal. Big locking hubs up front, a floor-mounted shifter for the transfer case, and a ground clearance that puts modern trucks to shame. It's old-school off-roading. No traction control, no electronic aids. Just you, the engine, and four beefy wheels clawing at the earth. And let's talk style, because the 1965 F-Series had a vibe that was all its own. That squared-off body, steel bumpers, and that unmistakable Ford grille, it was clean, bold, and purposeful. The truck didn't need to scream for attention. It looked like it belonged on a construction site, a farm, or a logging road. But now, in 2025, that same style feels vintage and timeless. There's something raw and honest about a 65 F-350. No chrome overload, no shiny plastic panels. Just sheet metal and steel doing what it was meant to do. Inside the cab, things were simple, sometimes Spartan. A steel dash, minimal gauges, maybe a bench seat with vinyl upholstery. No infotainment, no cup holders, no frills. But that's what gives it character. Every squeak, every rattle, it all tells a story. And if you've ever driven one, you know the feeling. It's like holding onto a piece of American history, and you can feel every bump in the road, every shift of the gears. You don't just drive this truck, you command it. And here's the thing, restoration projects are booming right now. More and more enthusiasts are tracking down old F-350s, especially the rare 4X4 versions, and bringing them back to life. Some stay true to the original, with stock paint colors, classic steel wheels, and original drivetrain. Others go the resto mod route, modern suspension, fuel-injected V8s, disc brake conversions, and interior upgrades. Either way, when done right, the 1965 F-350 4X4 becomes more than just a truck. It becomes a rolling tribute to the golden age of American pickups. What's also wild is how this truck bridges generations. You've got old school guys who remember driving one brand new, maybe back when it was their dad's farm truck or a company workhorse. And now you've got younger gearheads, wrenching on one in a garage, uploading build videos to TikTok, taking it to shows, and turning heads wherever they go. It's this mix of history and rebellion, grit and pride. And let's not forget the sound. That deep, throaty rumble of the V8 through a straight pipe or glass packs, it's music. It's the sound of America, of getting things done, of no excuses. And when you roll up in a 65 F-350 with 4x4, heads turn. Not because it's flashy, but because it's real. It's the kind of truck that makes people stop and say, they don't make them like that anymore. Price-wise, these rigs are climbing in value. If you find one in original condition, especially with a period-correct 4x4 conversion, you're looking at serious collector interest. And if it's clean and running, you're golden. But even a beat-up barn find has potential. Parts are out there, communities online are growing, and people are sharing knowledge like never before. You don't need a six-figure budget, just time, tools, and a passion for something raw and mechanical. So yeah, the 1965 Ford F-350 is more than a vintage truck, it's a statement. A symbol of when trucks were built to work hard and last forever. It doesn't need a touchscreen or turbochargers. It needs an open road, a muddy trail, or a pile of gravel to haul. And if you ever get the chance to drive one, or better yet, own one, don't pass it up. That's all for today's episode on Auto Car. If you love classic trucks, rare 4x4s, and the stories behind them, hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. We've got more legends coming your way, from barn finds to full-blown restorations. Until next time, keep your hands greasy, your wheels dirty, and your heart set on the road.